Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine powering an entire neighborhood block party-like, pushing 8,000 watts of just booming sound out of a single piece of equipment that weighs maybe 26 pounds. Today, we're looking at the QSC CX-Q 8K8 Network Amplifier from HDTVSupply.
Yeah, it really is a beast of a machine.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this because the numbers here are wild. It's 8,000 watts in a 26-pound box, and it comes with a $7,755 price tag. I mean, how is that physically possible without the thing just bursting into flames the second you turn it on?
Well, it really all comes down to the powertrain. I mean, this isn't your old school heavy copper coil amplifier. It uses a fifth generation Class D hybrid powertrain built on the PL380 PowerLight platform.
Class D, so that's the high-speed switching.
Exactly. Basically, it acts like a high-speed electronic switch. It's turning on and off thousands of times a second, so that makes it incredibly efficient, which limits the heat and, keeps the overall weight down.
Okay, so it's switching fast to stay cool and light. But, 8,000 watts across 8 channels. How does it actually manage that traffic? Does each channel just get a strict 1,000 watt limit?
See, that's where it gets really smart. It uses these systems called FlexAmp and FAST. FAST stands for Flexible Amplifier Summing Technology.
Okay, so no rigid limits.
Right. Instead of rigid 1,000 watt limits per channel, you have to think of the power like a central water reservoir. The amplifier essentially pools all 8,000 watts together.
Oh, wow. So just draws exactly what it needs.
Yeah, exactly. Say you have a massive subwoofer that suddenly needs a huge surge of power for a heavy bass drop. The amp dynamically opens the valves, so to speak, to rush heavy power right there while just trickling the minimal power needed for, a small hallway speaker.
Wait, if it's pooling 8,000 watts in this massive central reservoir, my immediate thought goes straight to the electric bill. I mean, a system capable of pushing that much power must be a massive energy hog during the quiet hours when a venue is mostly empty, right?
Yeah, it's a completely fair concern when you hear a massive number like 8,000. But the CX-Q 8K8 is actually designed with automatic energy-saving modes.
Really? How does that work in practice?
Well, when the audio drops, it pulls the absolute minimum AC power needed from the wall just to stay awake. It's not sitting there burning energy.
And looking at the specs here, even in that low power resting state, the distortion sits tightly between 0.02 and 0.05% at 8 ohms. Which means what exactly? That in a quiet room, you aren't going to hear any of that annoying background hiss.
Exactly that. It maintains pristine audio quality even when it's just sipping power. You basically get the brawn when you need it and absolute silence when you don't.
That is pretty incredible. But, if this amp is constantly and dynamically shifting thousands of watts between 8 different channels in real time, managing that traffic must be incredibly complex. I think controlling a network this massive would require an IT team and some custom-wired switchboard.
You'd think so, but what's fascinating here is that the interface is actually the opposite of complex. It's built entirely for the Q-SYS ecosystem, which relies heavily on a drag-and-drop design.
Drag and drop, like on a computer screen.
Yeah, exactly. You visually connect your inputs and outputs right on a screen. It acts as a central hub.
Yeah.
It features 8 routable mic line inputs, and those come with 12-volt phantom power.
Right, and for those unfamiliar, phantom power just means the amplifier itself sends a small electrical current up the microphone cable to power active mics. So, you don't need extra batteries or anything.
Right, it simplifies things, but it goes way beyond just routing audio inputs. It also features 8 bidirectional GPIO connections.
Okay, GPIO, general purpose input-output. In practical terms, these are simple electrical triggers that allow the amplifier to talk to the physical building, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you could wire it so that if the building's fire alarm system goes off, the amplifier instantly reads that hardware signal and automatically mutes all the music.
Precisely. It bridges the gap between your physical environment and your digital audio. The amp listens, processes, and writes data, doing the job of several different pieces of hardware, all from one single hub.
So what does this all mean for you? Because even if you aren't currently outfitting a massive sports bar or some complex auditorium, understanding a machine like the CX-Q 8K8 really changes how you experience these spaces.
It really does. It shows how modern environments deliver these perfectly timed, pristine auditory experiences.
Right, by hiding massive dynamic power routing behind remarkably user-friendly digital screens. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I think it proves that the most powerful technology is the kind you never actually notice working.
Exactly. So a thought to leave you with, the next time you're in a venue with flawless booming sound, look around for the network cables. Could it be that just one 26-pound box tucked quietly into a rack is running the entire show?